And we Russians, we consider the West as the pole of this gender politics. It's completely justified. But tomorrow, the same globalist elite, if they continue, and they will I am absolutely sure they will continue the same strategy, they will declare the necessity to impose post-human identity and to render, to make a human identity as something optional. So now we are confronting with this challenge, and not the problem of Russians against Americans, the Westerns against the Westerns, and so on. I think that the problem is deeper, and this time the confrontation between the West and the Russia, the Putin's Russia, is the confrontation between the postmodernity and post-human society advancing, and the human society, traditional society, conservative society. There are two Weltanschauungen, two visions of the world, and not only two societies, two countries, two competing geopolitical bodies. It's something deeper than that. And I think that in the United States of America, that there should be some groups of people that understand the seriousness of this challenge, and they are going to react against that, defending American values, defending American identity, defending American tradition, not Russian. You could hate us, you could be indifferent toward Russians, but that is secondary. That is no problem to be pro-Putin, support Putin, or to be against him. What is much more important to defend American identity, Christian identity, ethnic identity, cultural identity, sexual identity, or to be on the other side, on the side of the liberal globalist elites that now is approaching these elites to the last stage of creating of the world government that will enslave everybody on the earth, not only us. Now we are under direct attack of this globalization of the world government, but maybe you will be the first victim of these globalist elites, and not us, because we are opposing, we are struggling against that. Maybe we will lose, who knows? Maybe we will win with God's help. But you understand, you remark less than us as we do this danger, and only the vanguard people, the American thinker, American people who defend American identity, maybe they understand better than others the real amount of the danger you are dealing with, and everybody in the world now is dealing with. So my idea is not to give geopolitical lesson to American people. You have your own geopolitical agenda, and it is normal and logical that you follow this agenda. But I would like to attract your attention to real challenge we are dealing with. So this challenge and the problem and the danger and the catastrophe is the ruling liberal globalist elite that tries to create world government, destroying any kind of organic community, organic society with prevailing collective identities. So the destruction of the church and Christian civilization, destruction of the nations or ethnic cultures, destruction of the sexual identity, and affirming instead of it the gender politics, is the penultimate stage of the final catastrophe that's approaching. It is destruction of human identity. All these are stages of the same process, of the same so-called progress that is a kind of the real fall in the abyss. And I think the last point of my message is that we couldn't save the human identity. We couldn't save our sexual identity. We couldn't save our ethnical identity or religious identity without saving all this at the same time. That if the stages of degradation were in the consequence, now we need to restore all levels of this collective identity. So we need to oppose to liberalism in its essence, defending any kind of collective identity, any form of collective identity. And I don't see how we could succeed in that without having a new kind of theory, anti-liberal theory, but not fascist nor communist theory belonging to the past. We need to look into the future, and we need to give to the liberal challenge new answer. I suppose that this answer could appear only from the main context of the fourth political theory that I consider to be as invitation to create, to imagine new alternative to this liberal agenda. And I think that in the context, in the frame of the fourth political theory, we could not impose our understanding of what we need. Nor Russians, nor not Europeans. It should be created. It should be born in our minds, in our spirits. This answer to the liberal challenge. And I think that we need to imagine, to create, to elaborate, to construct American version of fourth political theory that could be very different from Russian form, or European, or Islamic, or Iranian, or Chinese. Everybody of us needs alternative, but everybody of us, every nation needs its own alternative. It should be constructed basing of the concrete historical, cultural, religious, spiritual experience of everybody of us. So we need together create different and differentiated types of the fourth political theory, and I think that Americans should imagine, should construct this fourth political theory in its American version by themselves. So I would like to thank you for your attention, and I think that beyond any form of hostilities, beyond of misunderstanding between our peoples, we shouldn't blame each other. We shouldn't be Americanophobic or Russophobic. The real guilt is on the side of the liberal, internationalist, globalist elites that whose behavior isn't a reflection of American interests or Western interests. These elite proceed its own agenda that goes against American interests against American people, destroying any kind of the cultural organic identity in the world. So we have the common enemy, and against this common enemy, whose name is liberal globalist elites, trying to construct Babylon's Tower, a kind of world government, we need to fight together, to try to understand together in the context of the fourth political theory. I wish you best success of your Congress, and I would like to stress the last point, that I think that is necessary to overcome and to go beyond the narrow horizons of the political ideologies that doesn't correspond the reality. We need to put aside, we need to forget about communist solutions of anti-liberal strategy, or racist or fascist or nationalist solution. We need to imagine something different. That is I am calling that fourth political theory. So I wish you courage, and I wish you success in this transcendental act of overcoming the old impasses of the political ideology and successes in the creating new platform in order to save America from the globalist elite that have elites that have usurped, that have seized American people as a hostage. So I wish good luck to every real and honest American